They try to do something good, they can't. But if they come in contact with Krishna consciousness, then actually the non-devotees play a very important part in the Sankirtan movement. You could say they're important players. Otherwise, going on Sankirtan would not be as exciting if there were not non-devotees there to interact with, isn't it? Chanting with devotees is nice, but chanting with non-devotees is even nicer. Believe it or not, it's actually nicer to be chanting with the non-devotees because they may get a change of heart, and it adds some nice flavor to the chanting. When they chant, then it's really exciting. That's why Sankirtan is so enlivening. Taking it out. We should take it out. But in order to take it out, we have to be spiritually strong. But I think you're all spiritually strong, so therefore you're so fearless that you're staying right here in the middle of Maya's capital and going out. There's nothing to do except go out and preach and give Krishna consciousness to the people. So you're pleasing Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati very much. He said, don't be so interested in going off in the seclusion. The cities are where the preaching is, the real preaching is in the cities. So give the holy name, give out prasadam, give out transcendental knowledge. I used to say, I don't know if it's still true, but I used to say that inch per inch, there's no place like London's temple for preaching. Inch for inch, it's the #1 in the world. Is it still like that?
Hariva!
You measure it all out, and you take the combined preaching and you divide it by the number of square inches, then this is the top. So, any questions?
You talk about worshipping Krishna, and Krishna is a demon fighter. I think we should sort of emanate Krishna's actions and become demon fighters.
Emanate, you mean imitate?
Imitate, yeah.
Well, if you can do it, but if you're not capable, then you may not be able to defeat them. And our killing may not be as auspicious as Krishna's killing. Krishna is so completely pure that even his killing, if we try, for example, even we can't imitate the sun. The sun, evaporates all this dirty, filthy moisture. If we try to do that, we'll probably become sick and die. And not only that, but the place that we try to extract the foul contamination, you won't become purified. So, no, it is said, te jiya samnadoshaya. Those who are powerful, they can do things and there's no faults. But if others try to imitate, then it's faulty. So we should not try to kill. We should try to kill the demoniac mentality by chanting the name of the Lord. So by invoking the loud chanting of Krishna's name, then actually you don't need to imitate Krishna because Krishna is there. And we can do that. We have voices, we have microphones. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We can do that and Krishna is present. Krishna is personally present and he'll kill the demon. Okay? Is that alright? Better, it's easier also. Less dangerous because we're not so powerful as Krishna. Krishna can, for example, when when there was one washerman and he insulted Krishna, so Krishna just with his hand, he cut off his head. We can't do that.
But it's spiritual warfare, isn't it? I'm not suggesting we should go out killing people, but we should be attacking things like alcohol, tobacco, the oil industry, the nuclear industry.
It's all done. It's all done just by chanting Hare Krishna. Just that one activity, it spreads auspiciousness and everything is benefited. The tobacco industry will be thwarted, the oil industry, everything will, because it gives transcendental knowledge also. Why are they doing these things? They're doing these things because they're in ignorance. So transcendental knowledge, Vidya Avada Jivana, the chanting of the holy name, is all auspicious because it's the life of transcendental knowledge. If we give knowledge, then people will, and we give a higher taste. Actually chanting Hare Krishna is more pleasing, brings more happiness than the oil industry or something else, or tobacco. You get some pleasure from tobacco, but you can get so much more pleasure from chanting Hare Krishna. So, just by this one activity alone, we don't have to try to work on all these inauspicious things to try to individually deal with them. Planting trees in Alaska, and, cleaning up and spaying all the cats and dogs that are around. That's a big, in America it's a big thing, we have to make sure that there's no cats and dogs that, still have genitals. We have to degenitalize them so that it'll make a better world. But they don't know what a better world is. They think that'll make the world a better place to live. But they don't know what the best world to live in. So if we give them Krishna, then we're taking them to the best world, and they'll get a higher taste. If they get a higher taste, then they won't even want, just like the devotees, they don't want to smoke anymore, they don't want to drink anymore, they don't want to have illicit sex anymore, or gamble, or eat meat. They're not interested in any of these things. Even they're not interested in oil. They don't care for cars and airplanes. They may use them only for preaching, but for anything else, they don't care for them at all.
I have one question from the internet. Julia Martic is asking, we should chant in the mood of goodness. How do we get ourselves up to that mood?
By chanting. Even if your chanting in the beginning is not goodness, it may be, sometimes we go chanting and the people are intoxicated, and then they chant with us. So do we tell them now, don't chant, you're not in goodness? We say, no, chant, 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 chant. And they go on chanting, and they get in goodness. They get even beyond goodness. They go to Shuddha Sattva. It means transcendental, supremely pure. Doesn't matter. I remember once we were chanting in Washington, D.C., and so drunk students were mocking the devotees. And then in their mocking, they did a little chanting. And afterwards, after some hours of chanting, because they got some taste for it, they came back and they apologized. They said, we came here to mock you, we were criticizing you, and we've never had such a wonderful experience in our life. They sobered up. So it doesn't matter if one chants in ignorance, or if he goes on chanting, everything will become purified. That's the beauty.